A White House memo sent to furloughed federal workers now warning them they may not receive back pay even when the shutdown ends. What do you make of this?
Well, I think probably there's a little bit of saber rattling going on, but I think it's worth noting President Trump didn't cause this shutdown. He didn't want to shut down the government. No Republicans wanted to do that. Almost every single Republican in the House and the Senate have voted to reopen the government multiple times. Frankly, almost every single Democrat has voted to shut it down multiple times. And it's now getting pretty serious. We're a few days away where it'll be difficult to pay our men and women in uniform. And we already see some pushback from air traffic controllers who, of course, are working but not being paid. Same thing's true with our folks on the border. So it's just unconscionable to ask people to work and not guarantee them their payback.
Yeah.
And for those people who have been furloughed, to be fair to them, it's through no fault of their own. They haven't done anything to justify. This is just dysfunction among Senate Democrats doing what they said they would never do, that is shutting down the government to achieve an unrelated political goal.
You mentioned it, Mr. Chairman. We're now just starting to see some of the impacts of the shutdown, the FAA enduring air traffic control shortages. There's delays at certain airports. Here's what the president had to say about that. Take a listen.
They're all Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard. And again, this is something that every day we put forth a bill. It's just a continuation. It's a very simple thing to sign and very simple to do. And I really think that these are people that I think they have nothing to lose. They have a party that's out of control.
So as we were talking about, I mean, obviously you've got some folks who are calling in sick even though they're forced to work. But as soon as we start seeing delays, that might change the narrative amongst the American people. Do you worry about that?
No, I don't worry about it. I think the American people are pretty smart. They understand who's voting to open the government. They understand who's voting to close the government. So, I mean, there'll be a tendency to say a pox on both your houses, but in this case, it literally is a Democrat decision, and it's one very at odds with where they've been historically. Their normal litany is, hey, let's just keep the government open and keep negotiating and work through our differences. That's exactly the deal we've offered them. We were in very serious negotiations on appropriations bill, very close to passing 3 bills. And then Democratic legislative leadership, particularly Senator Schumer, dropped in a couple things that, again, have nothing to do with the day-to-day operation of government. And even on those issues, our side has said, look, reopen the government. We'll sit down and talk to you about those, see if we can find some common ground. But right now, literally, I think the American people and certainly federal workers are being held hostage by Democrats in the Senate. It's unconscionable. They know they're doing it, and it's dangerous. I mean, you can lead to accidents. You're going to have services denied that need to be there. And again, it's just unconscionable to have our troops in the field in difficult and dangerous situations not getting paid. They worry about their families at home.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the House got their job done. Now it's up to the Senate. And we had Senator Husted on earlier, and he said he really doesn't see anytime soon where both sides are able to push this thing forward and get rid of this shutdown. What are you hearing on Capitol Hill? Are we talking days? Are we talking weeks? What do you think really happens here?
Well, I hope days, but once you get into one of these things, they're a lot easier to get into than get out of, and that's just a fact because somebody has to back down. In this case, almost every Republican can say, "Look, I voted to keep the government open. We got it through the House. We have a bipartisan majority in the Senate, and we're willing to talk to them about the matters that they've raised, even though they don't have anything to do with appropriations bills that fund the government." So. We feel like we've been the reasonable party here, and we think this is all done for political purposes by the Democrats, partly because Senator Schumer caught so much grief for not shutting down the government in March, and now he feels like he has to prove to people he will. Yeah, that's a sad decision.
All right, Mr. Chairman, Congressman Tom Cole, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank
you.
Hey,
thanks for having me. Great to be with you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.